Hey guys, this is Hardy from Digital Painting Studio, and today let's do Phase 2 in our 5 Faces in 5 Weeks challenge. I hope you enjoyed Week 1, and if you're participating, I hope you learned a lot from the first face that you painted. Let's build on that here. Today I'm going to do a really cool cyberpunk character once again. We're going to do a male character this time, and we're going to sort of pair these first two together. As a little pro tip, it can be good to show more than one character from a certain world, a certain game or movie universe for your portfolio. Art directors love to see that. For our main topic today, let's talk about how to paint faces with personality. And personality is one of the primary goals and challenges of painting a face. We want people to feel a certain way about our character. We want them to engage. And as concept artists, it's our job to engineer that feeling. And here are some main concepts to keep in mind that can sort of guide you through that process. The first one, and this is probably the one you have guessed, is facial expression. And you are right, this is a really important factor in determining the perception of our character's personality. And this can be done really overtly. Is this character snarling at us? Are they smiling? Are they making sweet eyes at us? All of those things. We can create these expressions just by paying attention to certain expressive areas of the face, like the corners of the mouth, the corners of the eyes, the brow ridge, angry eyebrows. Those are just to name some big ones. And I know you probably all know that. You kind of lift the corners of the mouth to make a smile. You do angry eyebrows angling inward to make somebody look angry. But let's talk about 2 commonly ignored areas of the face that can make a huge difference when you are trying to engineer personality into your face paintings. The first one is the outer corner of the eye, that area between your eye and your ear. This is huge. The animated movie Polar Express kind of famously weirded people out because the characters' faces seemed sort of lifeless and expressionless. And most of that was because this part of the face was kind of ignored. The characters always just seemed sort of expressionless, staring forward. And it's true, if that part of your face doesn't move when you are making expressions, it really weirds you out. Try this sometime. Smile at yourself in the mirror, but keep your eyes totally frozen. You look like a psycho. It's crazy. Another really important part of the face that's often ignored is this area between the eye and your nose, kind of the bunched up part of your nose. This is really important when describing anger or disgust. It's that part of your nose that kind of bunches up when you raise those outer corners of your nostrils. Once again, try smiling in the mirror normally, and then try smiling with your nose bunched up. It's weird. It turns from a normal smile to this like supervillain smile. So those are 2 hugely powerful parts of the face in terms of defining personality. Don't forget those. And what I'm attempting here is something a bit more subtle and nuanced. I'm going for, let's just call it, intense. I don't want this guy to seem super villainous or evil, but I want him to seem like someone we shouldn't mess with. And I'm doing that with subtlety. Slight bunched up nose, a raised upper lip. He just sort of looks intense, and everything else is pretty neutral. The eyes especially, he's staring right at us. He's not afraid, he's not shy. So that stuff is really important. And that brings us to our next main point, which is pose and posture. This is another somewhat subconscious way that a character communicates personality. Are they threatening, like leaning towards us? Are they aggressive? Or are they friendly and inviting? Are they looking vulnerable? Maybe are they recoiling away from us like they're afraid? Posture can communicate volumes. So for this guy, I sort of stumbled upon this awesome solution accidentally. I'm going to have him sort of caught in this backward glance. It's actually like his back is mostly towards us, but he's twisting his head around as if he caught us like looking at the back of his neck. And if you noticed in the early parts of the videos, I've designed in these little plug hole ports on his neck just to give him a fun cyberpunk detail. So it's almost like he caught us staring at the weird plugs on his neck, and he's not very happy about it. Really fun stuff, a lot of subtlety and nuance built in there. Next, let's talk about shapes. Now, again and again, concept art industry legends and million subscriber YouTubers all seem to agree that shape is the single most important element in design. So how can we use shapes with faces? I mean, just looking at this painting, or again, checking yourself out in the mirror, it's not super obvious where those circles and squares and triangles are. So all of that shape design stuff we know how to do as concept artists. It's not immediately obvious how we apply this to a face painting, but we can. And again, this is subtle. On this guy, I am making as many square corners in this face as I can. The features are really blocky and chiseled and masculine, especially compared to the face that we painted in week 1. She was very curvy and oval in general. And that really chiseled look communicates a lot of personality. It makes this character read in a way that very round or doughy features would not. And there are loads of different ways you can play with this when you're painting a face. You can dial up or dial down certain features of the face. A really strong square jaw or brow ridge can make your character seem kind of brutish and strong. Or if you go the opposite way, a really smooth and refined forehead and a very small chin can kind of take it in that other more delicate direction. Totally changes the personality. Just altering little measurements of the faces, how long the nose is, how long the forehead is, how widely set the eyes are. All of these little variables can have a really huge impact on how we perceive the character. So concept artists need to consider shape in every design, and faces are definitely no exception. You can make that work for you. As we get close to wrapping this guy up, let's talk about our final element, which is story. And I just want to touch on this, don't want to go into too much detail because week 3 is going to be all about story. Faces can tell a huge story. There are just volumes of information in every little decision that we make. It can tell you all about the world the character lives in. It can tell you what they've been through, what their job is, what their function might be. And this is huge for personality. It subconsciously tells the viewer who they're looking at and how they should feel about them. There might be a dozen subtle story cues on this painting. Let's point out the plug ports on the neck. That gives us that cyberpunk genre. And the glasses. Normally glasses can be sort of disarming, but this painting is all about subtlety, so I'm attempting to actually make the glasses add to that feeling of intense personality. And as we wrap this up, I'm going to add this intense glare to the glasses, which hides most of his eyes. It really adds to that personality. Expression, the backward glance pose that we're catching him in, the shape design of his features, and the story elements, all working together to bring us to this single effect. Pretty cool. I hope you like it, and I hope you learned something. That's it for this week, but be sure to subscribe so you can catch next week's Face Challenge video. It's going to be a fun one, and I have loads of awesome stuff planned in the weeks ahead. Okay guys, see you next time. Paint something cool today. Take care.